Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, servicing the entire tri-state area and beyond with everything you need to make sure your house is cleaned up this winter from any snow and ice. And that includes the tri-state area's largest supply of rock salt, Pelledo, mag ice pellets and flakes, all the great snow and ice melt products, plus snow blowers, shovels, spreaders, whatever you need, you can get them at Omni. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Well, there we have it, another day of clouds in the east and a mostly gloomy, doomy type of day. If you look really carefully, every once in a while, you see a few thin spots that developed, but they just sort of roll along here in the eastern part of the United States. And if you look out in the west, you can see the next energy coming down off the Pacific Northwest and dropping southward, and that is going to be the next round of big snows for the western part of the U.S., where winter has been going on and on and on and has been virtually unrelenting. Meanwhile, we have some severe weather tonight, and actually numerous severe thunderstorm warnings are up this evening as of 5:15 Eastern Time across central Georgia into South Carolina, also into southern Georgia. There's even the odd tornado warning that pops up every so often, and flash flood warnings as well, south and east of Atlanta, and that rain extends into North Carolina. It's all sliding to the east, and it's really not going to be any issue for anybody once it's all said and done. In the meantime, in the Northeast, in spite of all the cloud cover, there's not a whole lot as far as actual rain is concerned. I mean, we are going to see some patchy light rain or drizzle and some patchy fog scattered around tonight, but that really is about it. And then as we look out into the west, of course, big rains in Southern California, especially in and around LA, and seeing big snows up in northern Nevada, northern Utah, southern Idaho, and on up into parts of western Washington and even into eastern Washington and Oregon, seeing continuation of the very, very dominant winter weather pattern that has set up in the last month. As far as rainfall is concerned, in the liquid equivalent anyway, we are looking at roughly about 3/4 of an inch to an inch in the Northeast and down into the northern mid-Atlantic states, a little bit more when you get into Virginia and North Carolina, also a bit more in the Ohio Valley, from southern Ohio and West Virginia, south and west through Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and into northeastern Arkansas. And of course, some of this is going to be convectively driven. And in the band that you see in the darker blue to the northwest, a lot of that's going to be in the form of snow. So 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch or more being indicated there. So there's going to be some substantial snowfalls here for parts of Kansas, northern Missouri, northern Illinois, including Chicago, and into southern Wisconsin to Milwaukee. Chicago's forecast to get 9. It goes north of St. Louis, where they barely get a coating to an inch. 5 for Kansas City. And this is, again, all part of this system coming out of the southern plains. And this is the first low that will be headed on up into the Northeast. So let's run you through what's going to be happening here, because it's a little bit complicated. We discussed this morning on my Patreon platform the GFS's insistence on a well-developed second low as colder air comes in Sunday night into Monday. And here's the latest run. Now, we've got no problems tonight and tomorrow, other than patchy fog or a little bit of drizzle. That's about it. And we'll be probably seeing temperatures up into the 50s on Friday, New Year's Eve. For the arrival of the new year, not really expecting anything other than clouds and, again, maybe a little bit of spotty drizzle or a little touch of light rain. But we will get into a steadier rain between 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday. And this is the first wave that is coming out. You can see it running into Kentucky there, with rain extending east through Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and into southern New England. You can also see the heavier snows from northeastern Kansas on up into northern Illinois. By the way, there are numerous winter storm watches up for those areas. Here's our first low. We're into Saturday evening now, and still seeing some rain overnight into early Sunday morning as the first low goes out. Then on Sunday, probably catch a little bit of a break. Now, this is where the GFS really differs from all the other models. It just simply will not let go of the idea of a well-developed second southern stream system that comes out Sunday night into Monday as colder air comes into the northeast. And you can see it here. It actually produces some rather robust snows right along the immediate coast, touching coastal New Jersey down into Delaware and points further south, lighter snows to the north and west. But it is something. The question is whether I accept this or not. And it's hard to kind of hold on to the idea that this one model has it correct and all the others do not. And in cases like this, usually the second wave winds up being relatively weak and suppressed and gets kicked out underneath us. And that's kind of how the other models are handling this. So I'm going to view this with skepticism. And for now, just go with the notion that rain comes to an end later Saturday afternoon and evening, and then it just turns drier and colder for Sunday night and Monday. But I will admit that I have an open mind about this. And next week starts cold before the next cold front arrives, with some rain along about the middle part of next week. Weather in 5, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town on anything regarding snow removal, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Join us tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, and that's coming up at 7:30 Eastern Time. You can see there's a lot of weather going on across the United States with numerous watches and warnings. And we're also going to take a look at the long range, which looks like it doesn't want to change, even though there are some hints that something may try to change later in the forecast period, but we've been down that road before. We'll go through all of that tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:30 Eastern Time, so we hope to see you then.